Hey guys, it's your boy Mark back with another video. It is the 19th of December 2024. Oh my god, I really gotta take a piss. Oh, screw it, I gotta pull through this. This is gonna be my movie thoughts review on Rebel Moon, the first movie director's cut. Yes, I did review the original cut of Rebel Moon a year ago. And yesterday I just reviewed part 2, the original cut of that. I do also want to review the director's cut for part 2. This one is called, let's see, they have a different, title for the director's cuts. I mean, yes, I could easily call this 2024, or just the director's cut. But, they don't call it part 1 this time. They call it chapter 1. So, part 1 for the original cuts, and parts for the, chapters, for the director's cuts. And this one, instead of being called Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, this director's cut is titled Rebel Moon Chapter 1, Chalice of Blood. Now, I didn't really enjoy the original cut of Rebel Moon, honestly. I thought it had a pretty interesting start at the beginning, but then after that, it really fell off for me. And I honestly liked part 2 of Rebel Moon a lot more. Then today I watched the director's cut of Rebel Moon 1, and this actually had a whole hour or so. Basically an extension of the very strong, in my opinion, first 30 or so minutes of the original cut of Rebel Moon, except for over an hour this time. That was awesome. And what else am I trying to say? It does expand actually quite a bit. Like right at the beginning, we start off with a whole different scene that explains a very tiny brief moment in the original cut where this one soldier kind of made a certain look at the village girl. But this director's cut explains that very well. I'm not going to say what happens at the start of this director's cut because I don't want to spoil nothing, of course. But that really added a lot. And there was a whole subplot, again, not going to spoil nothing, about teeth. Yeah, teeth. Like those teeth. That was cut completely from the original cut for good reason. Well, not good reason, but for understandable reasons, because the original cuts of Rebel Moon were definitely supposed to be PG-13, and these director's cuts, full-on rated R, full of graphic violence, bloody and swearing, and sex too, and titties. Yeah, titties and no titty. That was already, that alone, the first 5 minutes where we saw lots of brutal, bloody violence, a whole bunch of swearing, and I don't care for too much for sex scenes, I will admit, but like nudity, that's better for me. Like straight up nudity as opposed to sex scenes. If I wanted sex scenes, I would be looking at certain websites for that. You know what I mean? That being said, see, I definitely thought the first hour, also after the of this director's cut, was pretty dang good. I was super invested. I'm like, yes, this is the movie that I wanted in the first place. And then, just like the original cut, after that, and this freaking cut is 3.5 hours long. I'm not even kidding. And then I get the same issues that I honestly had with the original cut, and that was simply, but basically once Korra, leaves the village planet to go look for other crew members, the movie really just lost me. I find it so hard to pay attention to the screen, and I just lose my engagement for the most part. And yeah, and sure, it still has a little bit of that bloody violence that I enjoy, but really not as much. I mean, 3.5 hours, I know the whole thing wouldn't be filled with just bloody violence the whole time. And I don't want to sound too shallow. I do love bloody graphic violence in movies, especially when it gets all bloody and spewing everywhere. If you're gonna do R-rated stuff, go all out, man. Don't frickin' give us little nibbles that we don't really want. At least that's how I feel. And that being said, I don't know what I'd rate this. I like it. This is easily, the best out of the three, like, Rebel Moon movies to me. This director's cut, especially, well, technically 2 movies and alternative director's cuts, you know what I mean? But overall, still not all that, man. I don't know what I'd rate this, but yeah, and my boy Cody, I think when he reviewed Rebel Moon Part 1 a year ago, he said the thing with Zack Snyder, he has so many director's cuts, and it's like, we keep doing this, we're going to rely on his director's cuts to do the whole good thing, you know what I mean? And I definitely agree with that, but at the same time, I think the specific reason that Zack Snyder wanted to release these 2 different cuts of Rebel Moon was so that one version of the Rebel Moon movies could be for, a more wider audience, for like a family or something to enjoy, teenagers even. And then another version of both movies that are just full of swearing and graphic violence and all that for adults, you know what I mean? That's what I think is the case here. Because I remember when Army of the Dead released, and he was like, yes, this is the cut I want from the start. I do think having these original cuts and the director's cut was a deliberate decision on Zack Snyder's part. That being said, really dope first hour or so of this movie, and then the same issues that I honestly have with the original cuts come into play, just like the original cuts, and I then just a longer version of that. Although for 3.5 hours, I pretty much just let it play. Like I said, I really lose engagement, after, as soon as Korra, goes out to find these other crew members. Not that some of them aren't some cool characters, but I just find a massive struggle to fully engage myself in them, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's my thoughts. Rebel Moon, Chapter 1, whatever of blood. Chalice of Blood, I think that's what it's called. And yeah, I think I did pretty good on this. I said all my thoughts really, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later. Peace out. Have a good one. 6 days till Christmas. Yeah.